Very good morning to my dear students and welcome to our social science class. So today we are going to start with the last topic of this chapter, that is thinking about time and historical periods. So let's begin our class today. So basically, this historians, they were thinking about whatever had happened between 700 to 1750 BC, and whatever the changes occur between in this 1,000 years. So according to historians, they do not see time just as a passing of hours, days, or years, as a clock or calendar. Okay? Time has also reflect changes in social and economic organization, in persistence and transformation of ideas and beliefs. The study of time is made somewhat easier by dividing the past into large segments, periods that poses shared characteristics. So basically, historians they did not just pass time by studying history by days, hours, or years, or calendar or clock, but they actually saw some important changes which happened between 700 to 1750 BC, and also there was a transformation of ideas and belief both in social, then economic, and also cultural perspective. There was changes in social perspective, there was changes in economic perspective, there was changes in cultural perspective, and also religious perspective. The ideas, the beliefs, that those were brought by the travelers, the migrants, everything was actually taking place in this era, and this is what historians were mostly interested to study about. So there, so to make things easier to study, they divided the past into three important segments, and they have got different shared characteristics. All right, almost they are same based upon certain criteria. So let us see what are the three important periods divided by the historians to make the things easier to understand. So first of all, in the middle of the 19th century, British historians divided the history of India into three periods: Hindus, Muslims, and the British. So these are Hindus, rulers, rulers, and the British. Now they divided this period on the basis of the religion, and that was the most important criteria of dividing the segment into three different periods, that is Hindu, Muslims, and British. And in this division, they only took the importance of the rulers who ruled in that phase or in that era. They did not take the consideration of the development in the economy, neither society or culture. They were only stuck with who ruled this period and who ruled that period, which empire was being ruled by those eras. In that era, like the Mughals, the Gupta dynasty, the Britishers, how they actually exploited the Indians. This is how the history was being divided by the historians. And in the division of the historians, in the for the periods, they did not take the development sector, and they ignored it. They ignored the rich diversity of the subcontinent. They only focus upon the rulers, because rulers had got certain religions, but everyone does not possess the same religions like the rulers. But the historians only divided the past into three important segments, which were very narrow, very concrete, and that is why uh, this particular division or periodic edition was not much accepted by the development. And such division also ignored the rich diversity of the subcontinent, because everyone was different. Beside Muslims, even Sikhs, then Christians, Jainism, other religions were also prospering, but historians does not divide or took them into consideration. Rather, they only took few or the three important phases of Hindus, Muslims, and British. So few historians follow this tradition today. Most look to economic and social factors to characterize the major elements or different moments of the past. So basically, few historians still take that era to study to make the things easier. But most of the historians, they go for the development which are taking place, the economic and the social factors, to actually study the elements of different moment of the past. In this era, what were the development? In that era, what are the development? So there was a comparison between the development in different eras. But few historians are still stuck with Hindu, Muslims, and British phase. So the historians you read last year included a wide range of earlier societies like hunters gatherer. In class 6, I hope you have studied, you remember there were Grama Bhojaka, then Velalaru, all these were studied in class 6, and these are somewhat different from what you're gonna study in class 7. In class 7 you will know about the different phases of historical periods. You will know that the comparison which are done between the modern period and the medieval period. So the historians you will be studying this year are often described as medieval. You will find out more about the spread of peasant societies, the rise of regional and imperial state formation, sometime the cost of pest and forest people. So here you are going to study about what happened in the medieval period, how peasants society rise, what was the exploitment that took place by the Britishers, how Britishers dominated the pastoralists and also the forest people, what are the new laws which were imposed upon forest people and the pastoralists, and how there was a formation of the imperial state. Okay, so here you can see I have gave a picture to see the comparison between the medieval period and the modern period. So we are going to study the medieval period, that where the changes which took place in medieval period in this particular book. Okay, and this thousands years of Indian history witnessed considerable change after about this chapter actually we are talking. So after all, the 16th and 18th century were quite different from 8th or 11th century. So this is how we are comparing histories. Like there's a vast difference between 8th or 11th century and 16th and 18th century. There was a major development that took place in these two different eras. So therefore describing the entire period as one historical unit is not without it problems. Like you cannot actually summarize the entire era into one historical unit, because there are different things that had taken place in different eras, different time and different periods. So every period had got problems, there was development also. So this is how we cannot actually summarize everything in one unit, rather we have to study in different units or different periods. Okay, so moreover the medieval period is often contrasted with the modern period. Modernity carries it with a sense of material progress and intellectual advancement. So modernity was basically based upon the development of intellectual and material progress, like industries were developed, there was materialistic progress, like houses, buildings, roads, everything is developed, and intellectual means your intelligence level developed. That's how the resources are being converted into the human resource, which can be of great use. A simple resource can be of a great use with the help of human mind and the skills. So this seems to suggest that the medieval period was lacking in any change whatsoever, but of course we know this was not the case. So basically in medieval period also, it's not that there was not development, there was development, but in comparison to modern period it was less and it was different also. So there was different cases in both of the periods. Right now we are in the modern period where everything is like advanced. We have got smartphones, we have got proper road, proper buildings, luxurious houses. So this is what the histories are being compared with. Okay, so this 1000 years of Indian history from 700 AD to 750 AD witnessed considerable change. Okay, so thank you so much students for your attention and cooperation in successfully completing the chapter. So tomorrow we are going to recapitulate the chapter. And by Monday we are going to do the question answers, and if possible we'll do it tomorrow. So thank you, have a nice day, and God bless you.